football coach.
That the mom's loaded. That's the only. The mom's like a lawyer or some shit. You know, just loaded. Just like a massive. Because I mean, New Mexico is not that cheap.
She works in Area 51, I bet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's
Sure.
a Pentagon contractor.
That's why Troy runs so fast. He's just like genetically modified with alien DNA. This is my new conspiracy theory.
Troy Bolton is a chimera, of course. Welcome to Mortified, the Friendship Quest, a podcast where two long-distance friends bounce media recommendations, all in hopes the other will like it. I'm Aaron.
And I'm, pending confirmation, the Peeps X Pepsi sweepstakes winner, Leyla Mammadova.
And this week, we bopped to the top with the 2006 Disney Channel original movie High School Musical. Before we transfer to the richest high school in New Mexico, remember you can help us on Mortified Legitimacy Quest by subscribing to us on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, signing up for our monthly newsletter through the link in our show notes, or following us on Twitter @MortifiedPod. Leyla, okay, you did sort of... We were going to talk about High School Musical, but then you just said a wild thing that our audience isn't going to understand.
Okay, yeah, so real quick, Peeps and Pepsi had a collaboration in which there's now Peeps Pepsi, which for some reason they didn't call Peepsy. And they're not even mass producing this soda. There's just like a sweepstakes giveaway. And we entered and we won.
Yeah, so this is how actually we're going to get Mortified to improve our follower count, is we're going to become solely sponsored by Peepsy. So if you just want to tweet at PepsiCo to say like, oh, hey, I love drinking Peepsy while I listen to @Mortified Pod. Anyway, we're recording this episode a little bit early, but yeah, this week we watched High School Musical, which is, for people who grew up in the mid-2000s, an important and seminal work of art. Leyla, do you mind explaining your background of the High School Musical franchise?
I saw it when it came out. I really liked it.
Oh, really? Did you follow up with any of the sequels?
Oh, hell yeah. I owned 1 and 2 for a while.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I've seen 3. Is there a 4?
There's 3. There's not a 4 on, unless you count the series, but I
haven't seen 3 or the series.
Okay. For myself, my sister was a big Disney Channel star, or not star, Jesus, I wish. She was a big Disney Channel fan when we were kids, so she got really into High School Musical, and she got the DVD, and like my parents had one of those vans with a DVD player, so we would watch it in the back of our van constantly, and like I wasn't like, I was like 10, 11 at the time, so like I was like kind of too cool for it, but also like I very much did make some of my first AMVs to Bet on It from HSM2.
Bet on It is my favorite song from HSM2. It is iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It is excellent. That's the one where he's running around in the golf course.
On the golf course,
slaps
yeah.
His own reflection. Yeah, fucking iconic. I love that shit.
So good. All right. Do you want to try to summarize this great film?
So in God's most expensive high school in Albuquerque, New Mexico, are Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez, who met on vacation a la Greece. They met, thought they'd never see each other again, were subjected to the war crime of random selection karaoke at a young adult party at a hotel, sang together, and then met again in high school, and then Gabriella's a math nerd and Troy's the basketball guy, but together they auditioned for the musical, and then hijinks ensue because Sharpay and Ryan, the usual leads for the musical and the co-captains of the drama club, are trying to stop them, along with the rest of the school who think it's weird that they have multiple hobbies.
It's a classic story, tale as old as time. Two lovers that are separated by social classes and political drama And in this case, unlike Romeo and Juliet, they're able to overcome their differences and unite the warring families.
They also don't die.
They also don't die, although they do become controversial adult actors in their own rights. Although, to be fair, I think Zac Efron came out the best out of anyone in this franchise.
I was gonna say, is Zephron controversial? I thought he was pretty chill.
No, I mean, he just does, like, some, like, bro-y movies now, but...
Yeah, he did, like, oh my god.
The one with Seth Rogen.
I'm thinking of the beach one.
Baywatch?
Fuck me. Baywatch, yeah. I like Baywatch, that was fun. And now he has that, like, kind of vibey, like, him out in nature show on Netflix.
Oh, really? That's so fun. Congrats to Zephron.
He's so good. I love Zephron. I think Zephron came out great. Vanessa Ann Hudgens was fine, and then showed her whole ass this year.
She did say something very bad about COVID, which I hope that she has since recounted. But we still talked about her in Christmas Switch, so, like...
we're gonna watch Christmas Switch 3, so...
So, like, cancel culture is not real.
It's really not. Yeah, but, the actress we should be talking about is Ashley Tisdale, who fucking killed it.
I had made a lot of mistakes as a young child, most of which I won't apologize for because I was a child, but I will apologize for making the mistake of villainizing Ashley Tisdale because she is actually the best character in this movie. She fucking owns. She is chewing the scenery at every point, and she's just always being like, I want to be the most hateable villain. I'm going to overact and just, like, be up in everyone's face and put 100% of my heart into this performance. I'm so proud of her. This is an incredible performance.
Sharpay Evans is fucking diabolical. Like, as played by any other actress, I think she would just be kind of boring and campy. As played by Ashley sorry, not boring and campy, just boring and cliche. As played by Ashley Tisdale, she's serving looks. She's serving Elle Woods blazers in high school. She's serving berets, melodrama. Bop to the Top is Spanish coded for some reason. I completely forgot about that. I think I love that. I think Ashley Tisdale deserves more respect. I don't think we've respected her enough. This performance was everything for me.
No, I mean, she did get a pretty sweet spot on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and I'm glad that she did get... I hope she's getting, checks for that still. But,
so did Brenda Song, who I don't know if you've heard, but just had a baby with Macaulay Culkin.
With Macaulay Culkin! What?
This episode is just pop culture Mad Libs. We've
incredible.
Hit Peeps, Pepsi, Brenda Song, Macaulay Culkin.
God, the thing is that, like, I feel like High School Musical, like, was the last vestige of Disney before it truly became a monopoly. I don't know if that's backed up by anything, but, like, I just feel that way because, like, the next time I started getting into really into Disney properties was the Avengers, and that was, like, I don't know when Disney bought Marvel, but I think it was, after High School Musical, certainly.
I want to say it was not long after. I want to say it was like 2008.
Disney announced their purchase of Marvel Entertainment on August 31st, 2009. So yeah, I mean, that's... the MCU, like, started after High School Musical ended. They're like, man, I don't know how we can top High School Musical. I guess we just have to buy every other company.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's, listen, sometimes when you run out of content, you have to just eat another company. And
just take other people's content.
Instead of making more original content that you have the resources and talent to do, you just take it.
Listen, we shouldn't throw stones sitting in our glass house of reviewing media that other people made, but I think it's okay to throw at Disney.
Yeah, exactly. No. Listen, I independent creators, do all the derivative shit you want. Disney has billions and billions and billions of dollars, so I'm gonna throw all of my little pebbles at their big old glass moving castle.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. Once we become Disney execs, we will put High School Musical in Kingdom Hearts, and then everything will be righted.
Oh my god, that would fuck so hard. Oh my god. Listen, they've already done a live action one. There's already a Pirates of the Caribbean in there. It's not, the precedent is there. So, Aaron has all the good ideas, and perfect, great. I can't wait to become a Disney exec on the back of including High School Musical in Kingdom Hearts.
It's gonna be great. God.
Wow. Okay. We have to talk about Troy Bolton.
Okay, Troy Bolton. The thing about Troy Bolton is that he's played as a jock the whole time, but as you pointed out in your notes, he's kind of like a good kid. Like he just wants to, do what's best for his dad and his team, and like, but he also is like very sensitive. And they're make a whole point of him being like, "Hey, oh Kelsey, all your stuff got knocked over. I'm gonna go help you pick it up, and also tell you like, hey, you're the playmaker, because I'm still a jock and I have to use basketball terms, but like you should, you're the most important person, in this musical." And pointing out, this is an insight from High School Musical, the musical, the series, the podcast, which is a great podcast by Palmer Hash and Petrana Rajulovic. You should definitely check them out. But Kelsey wrote a musical as a 16-year-old, which is wild.
Yeah, Kelsey's a prodigy in the fact that the drama club relies on her to like have their musicals. 2 musicals a year is bonkers. How are you going to replace that talent, Miss Darbus?
I think it's 3, because she says that, because this one is the winter musical, but then musical, but when she's like telling people to like go back, she's like, okay, well maybe the spring musical,
right?
Which suggests that there is like either a fall musical or a fall play. This drama club is fucking stacked.
Oh shit! I guess what I'm thinking of winter and spring musical as like maybe the really big production in December and like a smaller one in May.
But that's the thing. This production is happening after New Year's.
Oh, that's right. So this is like a February. Yeah, wow, that really implies a fall musical.
This is
holy shit.
Wild.
Kelsey is irreplaceable.
Yo, Kelsey's a fucking incredible person, and I haven't seen High School Musical 3, but I hope she got into Juilliard. She deserves it.
Also, her hat game is fucking unparalleled.
There are so many fedoras in this movie. I do wish that we had gotten Troy Bolton in a fedora. That would have been incredible.
Oh, at 1,000%. There were a lot of berets, a lot of fedoras. Kelsey was wearing a couple of bucket hats. She had a bucket hat and a brim hat.
Yes.
Good hat content, though. What school allows hats?
East Side High, because there's no rules. They have fucking botanical gardens and a huge lab that puts like my college labs to shame, and also a 2-tiered cafeteria. So, East Side is doing fucking great.
Yeah, dude, like they can pay their high school basketball coaches enough to live in a fucking manor, so.
His house is so big. Like, I live in Indiana, and like it's very common for people to have basketball hoops, but not whole basketball courts in their backyard. He's a high school basketball coach.
The mom's loaded. That's the mom's like a lawyer or some shit, just loaded, just like a massive. Because New Mexico is not that cheap.
She works in Area 51, I bet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's a Pentagon contractor.
That's why Troy runs so fast. He's just like genetically modified with alien DNA. This is my new conspiracy theory.
Troy Bolton is a chimera, of course.
Troy Bolton is a chimera whose mom works at Area 51, and that's why we never see her on screen. Except at the beginning when she's wearing green like aliens.
Perfect.
It all comes apart.
Oh, God. We need to talk more about Troy Bolton, not about anything else.
He's a very good boy. That's the thing. There's not much to say about him. He's just like a very good boy who likes basketball, but also singing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the protagonists are very bland. I mean, Gabriella is essentially the same, except instead of basketball, it's science. She is like, I guess she transferred schools because she was too smart, and everyone made fun of her for being smart. And she was like, gosh, I just don't want to be the freaky genius girl again. And then like the second day of school, she's already correcting the teacher in her science class. It's just like, Gabriella, girl, gotta keep a low profile. Come on.
Yo, this movie was not written by people who were honor students, because if it was written by people who were honor students, they would know that smart kids aren't like that at all. Smart kids love to flex.
Mm-hmm.
Smart kids will flex fucking anything. You have to be some big ass, oh my god, they called her an Einsteinette, which I thought was a fantastic line. A big ass brain, like Einsteinette, like literally Mojo Jojo, glass case encapsulating your big brain, like absolutely wild animal for it to be like a point of contention. Usually if you're like a nice, smart kid and you let people cheat off your homework, you are very well liked. So this did not track for me. Also, she brought a book to a party, which, like, listen, I admire the visual. I think that's great, right? You see the two characters and right away you're like, one is shy and bookish and the other one is dressed like a baby lesbian because they put him in like a weird printed shirt and a suit. It's great. Very big, like, I want to say Ellen DeGeneres, but like also, like very big Ellen DeGeneres vibes. But yeah, so it's, have you ever tried to read a book in a loud space? It doesn't work.
No, you have to be like really hyper focused, and it just, listen, who among us in our, early teens hasn't tried to bring a book to a social event they didn't want to be at, and then was just like, oh, please just let me read in the corner. So I get it. I've been there.
If you brought a book to a social engagement, if you were the type of person who would bring a book to a social engagement, were you getting invited to social engagements? Is the question.
That is an excellent point.
Because the answer is probably no.
But that's the thing. Gabriella wasn't invited. Her parents were on vacation, and they were like, oh, hey, we're going to go get drunk. How about you go to the teen party so we don't have to deal with you?
Then why wouldn't she just stay in the hotel room?
Because I don't know why, right? There's some line her mom says, like, oh, hey, there's a teen party. Stop reading. So, like, I don't know, right? But her mom made her.
And then you come right back. I would look around with my little book, and I would leave or go read by the pool or something. Anyway, we're spending too much time on this, but it's a wild visual, but it gets the point across, which is great. But she's like this nice kind of bookish. I think that the funny thing about, like, the characters are, like, Troy and Gabriella are just bland enough for kids to be able to project on, right? But also, I forgot how, like, first of all, they have great chemistry together, Vanessa Ann Hudgens and Zac Efron. And second of all, they're both, like, pretty charismatic people, which I, like, forgot. Like, they're nice, charismatic people. Like, they're genuinely good kids' movie protagonists. And I forgot about that. Like, they don't make Vanessa Ann Hudgens, like, detrimentally shy. She has stage fright, but she'll tell Troy to fuck off when she thinks he, like, talks shit about her behind her back. Like, they're like, pretty, like, cool, both of them.
Yeah, no, there are some very cute moments where, like, they're teasing each other on the basketball court, or when they're singing and, like, Troy is, like, encouraging Gabriella to be like, hey, just look at me, just like kindergarten. Like, I thought that moment worked for me. Like, there is a level of cornball shit because it's a Disney Channel original movie and the writers are all 50 years old, but, like, there were parts of it that were genuinely pretty good.
There were some genuinely, like, fun, like, I like the kindergarten line. I thought that was cute as hell. Yeah, they have some really nice, like, the basketball court shit was great, too, because this movie also surprised me in the sense of, like, how overtly romantic it was. Because, like, kids' movies, there's a lot of, like, glancing and, like, pining. That's mostly glancing and pining. But these were two people that were, like, actively flirting with each other all the time. I was like, oh, okay. We have reciprocated feelings. They're being acknowledged. It's interesting to, like, not have it be that weird 3-act structure where there's, like, 2 acts of pining and then, like, a big confession at the end. There's no confession. They're just, like, involved with each other. It was nice. Like, High School Musical is a good movie.
It really is. I mean, there are some points where, they have the stereotypical, like, oh, a misunderstanding has happened, or, they get manipulated into saying mean things. Troy gets canceled via live stream.
Which is a wild plot point for 2006.
Also, that camera is in the boys' locker room. That's definitely a federal crime. Chad is going to jail, but
so is hacking into your Wi-Fi to fuck with the scoreboard to evacuate the gym.
She hacks the gym and somehow it sets off all the fire alarms. It's great.
It's just by running command prompt.
Yeah, just incredible technology throughout the use of this movie. The cell phones were immaculate.
Oh my god, I forgot about horizontal cell phones.
God.
Sharpay has a horizontal cell phone. I forgot those existed. They used to come in so many shapes.
Did you never have one of those keyboard cell phones?
No, I had razors.
Oh, you had the fucking cool, the motor. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Motorola
never
Razr,
had those.
baby.
I
And my
never had
cousin
those
had
cool
the
ones.
Juke. Do you remember the Juke?
Was that like the little thin one?
The teeny tiny one, like rotated out? Awful.
Like a
What did you have?
switchblade. I was thinking about that.
Yes!
Yeah, that one was great. I don't know what I had besides just like a little shitty, well, not a shitty one. It was actually pretty good, but it was like a little like one that just like was a vertical phone, but you could switch it over and pop it up, and then it had a keyboard. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
And then with like physical like keys you could touch, and I didn't want to leave it for the iPhone because like the iPhone is so hard to text on compared to that, and I hated it for so long. But before that, I had like a Virgin Mobile flip phone. Like just you had to pay like 20 cents per text. It was miserable.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Do you remember the like dessert themed phones? Like there was a chocolate phone and the mint phone. Supposedly they smelled like the thing for a while.
No, what?
Girls in my class were obsessed with that shit in like 8th or 9th grade.
Oh my lord.
Like the chocolate phone. Let me see if I can get a picture of it just so you can see it.
The mid 2000s were off the chain.
Yeah, so seeing everyone like pull out, because now in a scene like the homeroom scene in High School Musical, they would all pull out like iPhones or whatever if they're protagonists, because fun fact, Apple doesn't let antagonists use their phones. So you can actually guess who the villain is going to be in a movie if they don't have an iPhone.
That's incredible.
Which is apparently somebody noticed that, I think in Knives Out, maybe? Anyway, so, yeah, they all pulled out these like wild Lego pieces of cell phones in the homeroom scene, and it just really took me back to like not having, I have a Google Pixel, but like not having a smartphone and having just like my Nokia flip phone. I had a BlackBerry at one point. I had the Motorola Razr. Like, phones used to be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I don't know how well they worked necessarily, but like it was such a weird way to be able to express like personality, and I do kind of feel a little nostalgic for that. I wish that we didn't all just have the same brick now. That was just such a throwback to the early 2000s or mid 2000s, and god, there are some really good, like you've been mentioning the fashion the whole time, but like we did not know how to dress back in the day.
Low-rise jeans are a fucking nightmare, and I see some of you bitches on TikTok trying to bring them back. Absolutely not. They're horrible. They make your torso look too long, and, like, if you weigh more than 5.7 pounds, you can't wear them anyway. So, like, listen, if you weigh 5.7 pounds and you want to wear them, good on you. I hope you look hot. But if it's the only thing in stores, I guess we're all wearing skirts. Skirts over our jeans, which was also the fashion back then.
Oh my Christ.
Speaking of skirts over jeans, we talked a little bit about Sharpay. We gotta have to talk about Ryan. Ryan is canonically illiterate.
It's really good. Go Drama. I loved that. It was just like, he's just so dumb.
Like, you're the co-captain of the drama club and you have to memorize scripts. How are you memorizing scripts if you can't fucking read them, boy? Yeah, so Ryan's a wild time. Chad?
Ugh. Listen, Corbin Blue, I think probably deserved better. I think that I don't know what he's up to these days. I hope he's doing well. But about 40% of his lines in this movie are just, "What team? Wildcats! What team?" And then he just keeps... It's so funny. And, like, the only things he does is, like, make weird basketball metaphors. Although, he does have arguably the greatest line in cinema, which is when he tells Troy that he's gonna end up in his mom's refrigerator, like the original Phantom of the Opera, if he continues this path of theater kidness.
Okay, we have to talk about that part. I think putting a photo of someone in your fridge is an objectively hilarious concept, especially the actor who played the Phantom of the Opera. I would do anything to have a cutout of him peeking out from behind my oat milk. I think that would make opening my fridge a fucking delight, and I'm so mad that I already went to Office Depot to print this morning because I should have printed a picture of the Phantom of the Opera and glued it to some of my oat milk.
This show's funny. Like,
it is.
There's some, like, dumb lines that, like, are just clunkers, but, like, then we get stuff, like, where Zeke, the baking basketball player, is, like, trying to hit on Sharpay, and he's just like, I made some cookies, and she just screams at him, evaporate, tall person, which fucking owns.
Evaporate, tall person owns, especially in the context of Chad calling Kelsey short person.
Yeah, he's like, what are we gonna do about this? We've never talked before in the movie. Small person, I guess. And she's just like, what?
Also, did you stay for the after credits scene with Zeke and Sharpay?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize
there's a post-credit scene with Zeke and Sharpay where Zeke, the baking basketball player, is just minding his business after the big "we're all in this together" pep rally, and Sharpay bursts through the doors holding one of his cookies that she rejected earlier with, like, mid-chew, and she's like, these cookies are fucking genius, and tackles him to the ground. It is...
I do remember this, yes. Oh my god, I remember this from watching the backseat of my parents' car. Yeah, no, there is a Zeke Sharpay ship. Perfect, finally.
Sharpay, who, by the way, Sharpay and Ryan, the antagonists of this entire movie, who get to be part of the big unifying numbers. This is the future neoliberals want.
It's so stupid because even in their, like, reconciliation one-liner, she's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be the understudy to you, Gabriella, so, break a leg. And she's like, that's what people say in the theater when they mean good luck. And it's like, no, bitch, you absolutely do not. You want Gabriella dead.
You meant break a fucking leg, bitch.
You're about to Mean Girls her in the school parking lot. Like, don't even worry about it.
Just shove her in front of a bus. Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, so, let's talk about Taylor, with Chad's kind of geek counterpart. She's fine. She's
fine. They don't give her a lot to do except for make weird, like... it is so strange that they made a black woman play Taylor because she sounds like a fucking 1800s eugenicist sometimes.
That PowerPoint she gives is next fucking level. She really dipped into some, like, alt-right, like, nurture over nature, like, wild bullshit. My favorite thing, though, is she was like, these people are on the path of the brain. And, like, one of the people she mentioned was Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo was not on the path of the brain. Frida Kahlo was on the path of the pussy. That woman fucked. Frida Kahlo fucked. That's not to say she wasn't incredibly smart and a prolific painter, but Frida Kahlo fucked. And I just need us to acknowledge that on this program.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick moment of silence. Everybody just bow your heads and think about how Frida Kahlo did, in fact, fuck.
She fucked constantly. Thank you, Frida Kahlo. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for service.
Troy's dad is a bad dad, and he gets a redemption arc that he absolutely does not earn.
No, not for a second.
Yeah, the whole movie, he's just like, Troy, the most important thing to me, a very wealthy high school basketball coach, is that you perform in this game that's not even, like, they don't call it, like, you know, it's not conference, it's not, you know, the state playoffs or whatever. They just call it, like, the big game against the West Side school or the West Side Knights or whatever. And, like, Troy has a lot of, like, trauma from that.
Well, he needs the test results so that his mom can take them back to Area 51 and see how effective the splicing was.
That's right, he's doing fucking data science. He's got on his clipboard, he's just making notes about the efficacy of their gene splicing technology.
That's why he gets so freaked out the 2 times Troy misses, I was going to say rehearsal, misses practice, because, you know, he has to know where the specimen is.
My lab results are going to be all messed up.
No, but for real, he's such a dick, and he's like, and I know that a lot of this pressure comes from me, bitch!
It all comes from you, Dad!
Dad, it's all from you, Coach Dad! I think it's in the second one where him and Troy get in a fight over scholarships or whatever, where Troy finally gets to, I'm not following your dreams, or I'm not following my dreams, Dad. These are yours, or whatever that fucking line is. And to say that Troy's dad is on the same bullshit 2 movies in a row, like, you're committed to being a douche at that point.
No, it fucking sucks. And the worst thing is that when they try to make him break up with Gabriella, Chad uses that because he's just like, last time I checked, there were 12 members on this team, and Chad's like, oh no, you forgot about the most important 13th member, and he hands them a picture of his dad in like the high school uniform, and he's just like, think about how you're disappointing your father. If anybody told me like that I considered a friend that I was disappointing my parents, I'd fucking punch their lights out.
Yeah, for real. Well, I would mostly be confused because I don't have a dad.
You and Sierra are in a very special group of people I consider to be friendly that also hate their dads, or have absent fathers, which I love. And every time we talk,
I have one absent one and one that I hate. So.
Oh, okay, you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
it's just it's a power move when you can just like be like, haha, your dad's dead, and and everybody else at the party is like, hey, what the fuck? And it's really great. I love doing that.
Yeah, it's, listen, the dads are a tricky specimen, and I think, Troy's dad especially, listen, he needs to come to Jesus moment. He just needs to, he did not deserve, you're right, he didn't deserve his little redemption arc, because he's back on his bullshit in the second movie. He didn't learn anything.
No.
He didn't even go see his boy sing until the very end. And you know what? That callback audition, Troy and Gabriella, they have great stage presence. It is hard to own a stage when you're just doing a duet. And they're soaring, flying. They're running around that stage. They own that space. It was really good. And you're still back on your bullshit about him being a basketball player in the second movie? Sir, you don't fucking deserve it. Fuck you. Miss Darbus is right to bully him. My feelings about Miss Darbus change from scene to fucking scene.
She is such a mixed bag, right? Because in one scene, she's like, oh, okay, you're going to be the stodgy, theater professor who hates cell phones. But also, she gives Troy and Gabriella a chance after she hears them just like randomly singing with Kelsey. But then also, like, she clearly plays favorites because she's like, oh, well, I am going to move the callbacks specifically to sabotage Troy and Gabriella because Sharpay asked me. So it's like, where are you coming from, Miss Darbus? What's going on here?
I think she's just an agent of chaos. She just likes to... Because, like, when Kelsey finally talked back to Sharpay, she was like, now that's show business. I also... Listen, hot take, Miss Darbus walked so that Catherine O'Hara could run in Schitt's Creek because her commitment to the word musicale just made me think of everything Moira Rose has ever said, which is iconic in its own way because ever since my nephew's been born, every time I see him, I just, even just at Facebook at my own computer, I just go, well, where is the bebe? Where is Bebe's chamber? There's nothing more satisfying to me than like a middle-aged, too old white woman mispronouncing things on purpose. I think that's a fantastic character choice and more women should make it.
It's incredible. Miss Darbus is another very good character, despite being cast as a villain. Man, Disney can crank out some villains. They haven't done a very good job with the Marvel franchise, but old school Disney knew how to do villains right.
I would say as late as like 2009, because Dr. Facilier is dope as shit from Princess and the Frog.
I have not seen that, unfortunately.
You should watch it. It's a delight. It's so good.
It's very good.
Yeah, Dr. Facilier has one of the best villain songs in the entire Disney canon.
You did mention ranking the songs.
Mm-hmm.
I will note that the aforementioned HSMT, MTSTP already did that. We can still do it, but I do want to give them a shout out and say they did that also. You should also definitely go listen to them if you're interested in the High School Musical canon. Yeah, do you want to try to rank these songs? Because I'm very interested to hear your opinions on them.
Yeah, I think we should.
Let's not rank them. Let's just start at the top and go down and give our thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So start us something new.
Pretty good. I think it's a strong start to the musical. I think it, introduces us to Troy and Gabriella's characters pretty well. And, it's not incredible, but I like it. It's fun in it, and it sets up the story in a pretty effective way.
So just real quick, staring at the Spotify album for High School Musical, and I just want it to known to the public that the people credited in the song, like, credits, are not the actors. It's Troy and Gabriella are credited as
good.
performing artists on this. But Troy does not get Troy Bolton. It's just Troy, like Cher, Gabriella Montez.
Incredible. Well, that's the thing, is that there are some songs in this movie that, like, the actors didn't sing. Like, they dubbed voice, they had professional singers go in and do them. But also, in the canon of High School Musical, right, High School Musical exists, but, like, High School Musical, the series, takes place at East High, like, the actual East High. So, like, High School Musical, the musical, like, is a real property, and, like, East Side High is technically in our world, which is wild. So I think it makes sense that Troy and Gabriella are just listed as that, because they are characters in a real, actual, production.
Aaron, I feel like I feel like you just tried to explain Kingdom Hearts to me. If I had no context for Kingdom Hearts. Do you know that feeling of, like, if you have no context for an incredibly complicated thing and someone's trying to explain it to you and it's just like a fucking onion of a franchise? That's what just happened to my brain.
I don't, because I know about Kingdom Hearts and nothing else is more complicated than Kingdom Hearts.
That's very true. Wow, my brain just short-circuited. Starting something new is fine, I think. I don't love it, I don't hate it, it's fine. It's a cute duet. They definitely practiced it beforehand, because those harmonies were tight. Get your head in the game.
I thought I liked this song a lot more than I actually did.
Aww.
I mean, because I guess I thought, like, oh, okay, this is the cool jock basketball song. I think the lyrics are very bad throughout a lot of this franchise.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. The lyrics are not good, but I think it's a bop. It's, like, fun. It got me, because I was working while I was watching this, and it got me pretty hyped for shot compositing.
I'm glad you got psyched to do photo edits while you were listening to the fucking hot beats coming from these basketball dunks.
Yeah, just running shot cleanup at breakneck pace because my head was in the game.
It is a very good, like, use of, like, the sounds of basketball being played and, like, the sneakers, making the squeaks.
I love songs like this. Yes,
but, like, a lot of the, like, a significant portion of the lyrics are just, you gotta get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game, which I think is very bad.
No, yeah, immaculate songwriting. I don't know what you're talking about. What I've been looking for, which
there's two of them.
This is the first one. We're just going in order. Already forgot what it sounds like.
The way that when Sharpay and Ryan do it, it is not very memorable. It is a little bit faster. And I really didn't like it as much. I think that's intentional, though. I think it's supposed to have that harshness, and, like, be a little bit grating to show, to make the audience be like, okay, Sharpay and Ryan are talented, but, like, are they really, the best singers in East Side High?
They're the best performers, hands down.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Listen, they did some incredible choreography. Like, there's a great line where Sharpay's like, I told you not to do the jazz square. And Ryan's like, it's a crowd favorite. Everybody loves a good jazz square.
And Ryan's fucking right. Everyone loves a jazz square. Oh, fucking immaculate. Well, what about what I've been looking for as sung by Troy and Gabriella?
I like that one better, and I think, that's, again, intentional. I just think that they make Troy and Gabriella come off as stronger singers. I tended to like it a little bit more slowed down. Again, I don't think it's an incredible song, but,
Yeah, that's fair. I don't remember what it sounds like as performed by either duet, so...
Yeah.
And I watched the movie this morning.
Yep,
yikes. Stick to the status quo.
Arguably the best song in the musical, but not because of the musical quality of it at all.
Please elaborate.
I don't think that I don't think that the lyrics are necessarily very good. I think it's very cornball. It's very, Disney Channel original. I don't think that the choral, like the big chorus singing it is especially good, but just the lines themselves are incredible. The part where Zeke's like, "Okay, I got this big secret," and everyone's like, "Everybody gather around." He's like, "I fucking love baking. Here's a creme brulee," and everyone's like, "No, no, no, no." It's just like, that's good shit. My favorite part is where they have the skater dudes, and the skater dude's like, "Okay, well, if Troy can share his secret, I can share mine. I play the cello," and the other guy's like, "Awesome, what's a cello?" And he's like, he mimes playing a cello, and the guy's like, "It's a saw?" And he's like, "Nah, dude, it's like a giant violin." So good. Fucking amazing.
I love the pop, lock, and drop it girl. She said, "My passion is hip hop. I like to pop, I like to lock, and I like to drop it." Like, fuck yeah, girl, drop it all fucking day long.
She says, "I think it's even funner than homework," or some shit.
Sometimes it's even more fun than homework. Sometimes it's doing a lot of work in that sense.
Good gravy.
Six Days High School is a fantastic little jam. I love it very much. Okay, so while we're on it though, I have a beef with the fact that Zeke's baking is a secret, because I don't know if you've met teens, they're hungry. If one of their own was good at baking, he would be a god among men. Are you kidding me?
Listen, like, people generally, I found, don't like the sports kids in high school, besides, the sports kids themselves. But, like, if it was like, "Oh, yeah, Zeke, I mean, he's a basketball player, so he's kind of a dick," but, like, he bakes, he brought cookies to homeroom one day, they fucking popped off. That dude's all right. Like, I would love to hang out with Zeke. They
were, as the teens say, bussin'.
Nope.
I think is the new...
Nope, they don't.
Wow. There's nothing more that makes me feel older than having teens come up on my TikTok. Anyway.
You just sounded like a writer for High School Musical there.
Hire me, Disney. I'll write High School Musical 4. Okay, When There Was Me and You. I think this was the worst song in the
Yes,
the whole movie.
It's very boring. I think, whoever sings for Vanessa Ann Hudgens is, maybe it's her herself, I don't know, but, the singing is good. The content of the song is very boring.
I mean, she goes on stage all the time. I think that is actually her singing.
Although like, there's some, like, cinematic flair here. Like, if you notice, Troy is the only one out, when she's looking outside, Troy's the only one in in a blue shirt, while everybody else is wearing red, and Gabrielle is also wearing blue. So, like, they're connected. That's another observation that Palmer Hosh made in their podcast. But it's just, they're like, it's symbolism, kind of.
There was one really weird shot in that sequence, though, that jumped out at me. It was like a very sensual shot of her, like, dragging her hand across the railing, and I was like, she's a child.
She's 16, what? Sir, please. Maybe 17.
Why?
Please don't do that.
Like, yeah, I didn't like that at all. It really took me out of the sequence. Though so did her belt. I was just focused on her belt the whole time. It wasn't in the belt loops. It's purely decorative. Yep. 2000s
incredible, great era.
Bop, 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 bop to the top.
Bop to the top is a lot. The weird, like, Spanish dialogue flair.
Mucho gusto.
Ay que fabulosa. It's so much.
It's a lot. It's so much.
And I don't know how to handle it. Sharpay has a flapper dress on, I think. I don't know what's going on in that scene.
No, that was supposed to be like a full-on, like, salsa dancing.
That's the touchstone.
I don't understand why it was a Spanish flair, considering it was written, like, under the sea.
I mean, God, it really was. There's also, like, I don't know, Leyla, did you ever audition for musicals in high school?
I was in every single musical from 6th to 12th grade.
Yes, of course, you're a dyed-in-the-wool theater kid. During any of those auditions, did they bring out golden props for you to climb upon during the callbacks?
I'm not the best singer, so no,
Okay.
I did not get the gold letter.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, me either. I never got a call back, but maybe, maybe if we had gotten to that top tier, we'd have gotten the cool disco ball props during our callback songs.
Maybe if we bop to the top, our auditions themselves would be a production.
Yes, incredible.
Next one's Breaking Free.
I liked Breaking Free a lot.
It's fine.
I thought it was one of the best songs of the musical, unfortunately.
No, that's fair. I was surprised at how much of it I remembered. Like, I did not think that I would be able to sing along with it as much as I did. Because I was sitting here and singing along to most of the songs except for When There Was Me and You, because I just plumb forgot that one existed. No, it was good. Again, great stage presence, fun performance. I like, because the Troy runs out of the gym before the rest of his team follows him to go watch the audition. I really liked that they like pressed their arms to their sides, like power walked out of the gym to go watch him sing. Like, it's so good. So fun.
I mean, like,
delightful.
Everyone was so hyped up to, like, come into the auditorium and just watch these auditions. Like, the whole fucking school just rolls up and they're just like, we're just gonna watch these kids sing, I guess. It's just so wild, and would
be devastating if they didn't get the fucking part.
That'd be so funny if Miss Darvis was like, anyway, yeah, so Sharpay and Ryan crushed it, sorry, and then the entire school just has to riot.
And you were still late, so Sharpay and Ryan get it. Last one. We're all in this together.
I don't think it's a very good song, unfortunately. It's just, there's the chorus, which is iconic, but, like, the lyrics are boring. Ryan finally gets a solo line in that, which I appreciate. I'm proud of Lucas. But yeah, otherwise it's kind of a lackluster song, I feel.
So yeah, that's fine. The chorus is iconic. That's really my only take on it. We have to talk about Mr. Lucas Graybill real quick. Did you know about the Dancing Ninja?
No, Leyla, what the fuck is the Dancing Ninja?
It is exactly what it sounds like. It is a movie in which Mr. Graybill plays the lead, and he is, I believe, the only white person living in an Asian city, and he is the much prophesized about dancing ninja because he has I believe, like a birthmark on his leg.
No, they white savior Lucas Graybill.
So, we haven't, I'm just saying I'd watch it for the
Listen, I'd watch it. We'll put that on the list, I guess.
I'll drop you a trailer.
Christ, I can't imagine. Is that a DCOM too?
Oh no.
It's a real movie. Oh no, boy.
It's a real movie.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this was him trying to break out of his Disney image.
God. I feel like of all the people that tried to break out of, I think, Zac Efron is probably the only one who really did it successfully, although...
Miley Cyrus, I think.
Oh, Miley Cyrus, definitely. But, like, from this movie specifically, I feel like, Zac Efron, I don't really think Ashley Tisdale ever really did break out of that Disney imagery.
I think she had a short-lived music career.
Yeah, I definitely remember my sister having, like, her albums, but, like, I don't think she was ever super duper popular. I think she had a couple, like, big songs, but that was it. Like, not a whole lot of people really got out of Disney's sphere, which is, I always think about that, like if you are somebody who is like a Corbin Bleu or a Lucas Graybill, like, how long are you just like, I just gotta ride this gravy train till it lasts, or like at some point do you talk to your agent and be like, hey, should I try to, escape Disney's sphere of influence, or am I just gonna continue to get cast in these roles until I just get old enough to become like a dad figure?
Well, I think it also depends on, like, what your contract with Disney is, right? Because, like, if you're part of a franchise, you might be locked into it for, like, a certain amount of time or a certain amount of seasons, and they might be, like, batch greenlighting stuff. So, like, it's not unheard of to say, okay, well, we want 2 movies or 2 seasons of this thing, and you're locked into both, But yeah, I guess it depends, and I feel like it's harder for the people who are, like, side characters, because the way Disney movies are written, like you and I love, like, a nice, fun, nuanced story. I love a good side character. But it's one of those things where like, the side characters don't really get much development. They're very gimmicky, which isn't like a critique. It's a movie for kids, you know? Like, they don't need to be deep, nuanced figures that, like, influence the protagonist or something. They can be plot devices. That's fine. But given that that's the nature of them, unfortunately, then that actor, especially if this is, like, their first big thing, is gonna be known for that gimmick. So it's just, you know, it be what it be. You gotta just know what you want out of your career, which is hard when you're, like, you know, 17 to 25, which is the age range that plays teenagers.
Yeah. I was wondering how old they were, because I was like, Zephron definitely looks younger, but, like, you know, maybe 20, 21.
Probably 20. The actor who plays Zeke is too shredded to be a teenager.
He's extremely muscular.
He's very shredded. That's those are not boy muscles. those are man muscles.
It's really good. God. Did you ever see the Corbin Blue jump rope movie?
I like stopped watching DCOMs right around that time.
God. I don't think I ever saw it either, but I know they advertised it like the fuck out of it because they're like, please, we need another child star.
Right. Well, do they even do DCOMs anymore?
I mean, no, right? Like they have, I mean, I don't know if you know if the Disney Channel, I mean, it's got to exist in some form.
Oh, it exists. That's where, there's a couple of Disney channels, like Disney XD, there's a couple of Disney channels. Well, that's where, TV show Supernatural, kids, siblings, with the evil triangle. What am I thinking of?
Just saying a lot of words, and none of them are hitting for me.
Fucking, they go with their Grunkle Stan. What is the name of the show?
Oh, God. Fuck, I know. I see it on Tumblr all the time.
I literally saw the show like 3 months ago.
It's
I can't
not
remember
Twin
the title.
Peaks,
It's escaping
but
me
it's
completely.
similar.
It's definitely not Twin Peaks.
I have to Google.
Fuck me.
Grunkle Stan.
It's not Camp Laszlo.
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. I literally have watched all of Gravity Falls somewhat recently. Blanked on it completely. Anyway,
Okay,
Gravity Falls is on.
When do you think the last Disney Channel original movie was released?
2014.
July 31st, 2020. They're still making them.
They're still making them. Oh,
have you heard of the Descendants franchise?
Excellent. That is not a DCOM.
Descendants are, of course, they're DCOM. Like that's because they're all the descendants of Disney villains. Why?
I didn't know. I thought that was like a Disney Plus thing. I didn't know there was like a Disney Channel thing.
No, yeah, it's definitely, at least on the Wikipedia.
Okay, because listen, DCOMs when we were growing up were like Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, it's like,
which was a wild premise for a film. What if a basketball star who was white was a leprechaun?
Just incredible shit. Oh, God.
Just, Luck of the Irish, there was, and I'm gonna blank on all of the ones we used to watch. My cousin was really into them.
Cheetah Girls.
She would always make me watch.
Twitches.
Cheetah Girls. We watched Cheetah Girls. I wanted to say not that long ago. Nope, 10 years ago. We were working on our professor's film set and in college, and we rewatched Cheetah Girls 1 and 2. Listen, Raven-Symoné has kind of lost the plot, but, like, those movies fuck.
They're good movies, if I remember correctly.
Their songs are great. They go to Spain in the second one for some reason. I'm into it. I wish I had a squad that would wear, like, Power Rangers cheetah print with me.
Listen, that can happen. We can arrange that.
So if me and you started a squad, like, what color would you be?
Blue is kind of my one of my colors, so I feel like that's my color. I don't know if they make blue cheetah print, but
no, yeah, of course they do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like mine is probably red.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, that's like the leader. If you're the group leader, you have to have red.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think I would be the leader, but I think I would be the one that causes problems on purpose, like the Sailor Mars,
or a Raphael from TMNT,
or like a Raphael. I've never seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, I have, but in Russia, so I don't remember. But yeah, like that would be more my role. I think we need somebody a little bit more pure of heart for our leader. Maybe Ange.
Yeah, we'll at various people that follow us, and we'll figure it out.
Would you lead us? Yeah. So write in. What would your signature color be if you were part of our cool gang? yeah, no, it's DCOMs were fun. They were like cheesy, tacky, fun movies. I kind of miss them.
Yeah. I mean, I was just at that stage in my life where I was like, oh, I hate everything Disney Channel, and I wish that I wasn't that kind of person. But looking back on them, like the Camp Rock musical, that the movie like that was fun with the Jonas Brother, one of them, and Demi Lovato, or like apparently the Wizards of Waverly Place movie is very dark, which is very funny.
Oh.
So
I have a visceral memory of Camp Rock. It was like one of the first times I really started to like notice things about movies. Like I was still pretty young, but like usually, I don't know if this was the same for you, but when I was a kid and I went to see a movie, I would just walk into the theater and be like, professionals made this, so it must be perfect. And like, I never noticed mistakes or anything. Ironic considering I'm now a tech artist and my entire job is noticing mistakes. But, Camp Rock was like one of the first ones when Joe Jonas started harmonizing with himself, playing an acoustic song to Demi Lovato on a pier. I was like, where are the other voices coming from? This is incorrect.
How are they doing this?
This is non-diegetic.
Oh, no.
This must be in his head. Did not know about diegesis back then, but yeah. So Camp Rock, some of them did get kind of dark, especially some of the like '90s ones. But yeah, dang, DCOMs. I feel like DCOMs went down the same road as Star Wars in the sense that like it just takes itself too seriously now. Mm-hmm. Bring back the tack.
Listen, we're getting there. If you had to guess the highest rated Disney Channel original movie premiere, as in like millions of, most people viewed it on premiere, mm-hmm. Which movie do you think it is?
High School Musical 2.
How did you know that?
I just felt it in my bones.
That was incredible. No.
Because High School Musical, because it makes sense, right? So High School Musical, right, it has to like gain mm-hmm. hype. So like people will see it, but then they'll see it more on replay, and then they have the ramp up marketing for mm-hmm. 2. So then all the people who saw High School Musical past premiere would watch the premiere of 2.
I mean, you're 100% correct. Okay. High School Musical 1 had 7.7 million views, which is actually only the 9th highest rated DCOM. So like not very wow. high. We got a lot in the mid, 7.6 to 7.9 range. High School Musical 2 had 17.2 million views. Fucking blew it out of the water. The next highest one only has 11.4. Like, High School Musical 2 was wildly popular.
High School Musical 2 is a fucking cultural touchstone. I remember it being pretty good. Maybe we could watch it in a couple of months. But, yeah, wow. I'm glad my instincts were right. That's pretty cool. Damn, nothing's beat it since. When did it come out? Like 08?
07.
07. Oh, yeah, well, it's easier to pump them out, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. Iconic. Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens should be proud.
Yeah. I mean, well, maybe a little bit less so Vanessa, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, Zac Efron should be. He's still got abs. He's
that
winning.
Motherfucker. Listen, he can maintain those abs. I mean, God bless him. He's doing something right.
He's very handsome, very. He's really embraced the himbo, which I think is great for him. He's just kind of like an affable, hot man. And you know what? If that's your legacy after leaving the Disney Channel, you fucking won.
Life, yeah, incredible.
I am surprised at how easy this conversation was.
I think it just comes from a place of like we both very freshly watched this, and also we both grew up in an era when like this is the time period when we're both like mid teenagers, like so feelings about this show are probably like very strong for us, right? This is when we're hitting our adolescence, which like is interesting. It makes these memories of High School Musical very formative, right?
And it's just funny because like you and I aren't very like only 90s kids would understand. Like, we don't really look at our adolescence with those glasses on usually. So it's just, I don't know. I going into this, I was just, first of all, really pleasantly surprised by how genuinely enjoyable of a movie this is, just to like a general adult audience. But also, like, it's just like how much reminiscing we got to do. And even though you and I grew up like very differently, obviously you were in Indiana and I grew up in Buffalo, like two completely different areas of the country, but like still just these like very funny universal experiences of just like these funky mid-2000s cell phones, the like weird fashion trends of the mid-2000s. I feel like the early 2000s, with the popularization of the internet and then like movies like this getting bigger, really nationalized some parts of culture, especially for teens. So it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of neat that there was this like universal neat experience in this really funny teen movie.
It's incredible. Gosh. I think that's about it. You got anything else to add?
No, right. Aaron, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet at AaronSXL. You can find the other podcast I do at The Bible Boys. We just recorded an episode about Hail Satan, and we are going to record an episode soon about Jennifer's Body, which is also allegedly about Satanism and cults and stuff, so... yeah, I don't know. I feel like Michael may have tricked us on this one, but...
of course it's a fucking Michael
Of course
pick.
it is.
That makes sense. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, me and Josh are like, no, horror movie's gross, but hopefully we'll have an interesting discussion about that. Leyla, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm at LEYLSES on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find my art and my essays there. I'm not up to anything interesting, as I've been saying for the last couple of weeks. I'm moving in 2 weeks, so it's eating up all of my time.
Well, we will certainly return to a more stable schedule shortly. But in the meantime, you can listen to some music by Keshko, because our theme song is Obsolete by Keshko from the album Filmmakers Reference Kit Volume 2. You can find more of their music at keshko.bandcamp.com. Leyla, what do we say?
What team?
Wildcats!
What team?
Wildcats!
What team?
Wildcats!
Wildcats!